Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Oshi Noko. Tonight we're on episode. This isn't an episode. Tonight we're on tier list. This is actually tier list and the Oshi Noko. So, what is the plan for this? Before we even get into that, before we even get the tier list on the screen, get it off the screen. Get it off the screen. Let me lay down. Let me lay it down for you. Okay, I have done a grievous sin. Okay, and this video here is my atonement. You see, I actually finished the show about a month ago, maybe a month and a half, almost approaching 2 months. And, at the entire time I'm saying, like, oh, the tier list, oh, the stocks. And I completely forgot to do the tier list. So, yeah, I don't know how that happened. It, like, slipped my mind for a month, and then people were like, yo, where's the tier list at? And I was like, holy crap, I haven't done the tier list. And then I moved, which is why obviously we had a different... Excuses. And I could just excuse it all, but... We are here to make things right, okay? We are here to do the tier list, but that's just, it's kind of interesting, because usually whenever I do the tier list, it's kind of like right after we finish a show, So it's like, a lot of the emotions are still fresh, which obviously will influence how people are ranked. So for me doing it now, like, a month to 2 months later, like... I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at these names. And it's like, I don't like some of these guys. It's like, I remember you existing, but like you weren't prevalent enough in the story for me to like remember you that clearly. And that's kind of a demerit, It's like the people that I remember have like an extra value, So that's kind of interesting to me. Like, it's going to be a little bit of a different spin. So let me conjure that onto the screen. This is our little tier list. Thank you, MX from the Discord, for making this. Look at it, it's so sweet. It has the little names. So I'm not gonna look like a fool, like being like, like Raidea. Raida? I've never seen this man in my life. I remember asking about this guy. I think he's in the finale for like a little bit. He's like at the end with the new play that was gonna be done with like Aqua and everyone like that. Everyone is getting hired for like the next arc. I think he was the guy for that. I'm gonna be real. I had no idea, and I didn't know his name. That's for sure. So, it's basically Pog. What it is? Okay, let me start. Let me get my notes. The different tiers. So, what are we doing for this first tier list? A phenomenal question. This is our best character tier list. So what are our metrics for this? Best character. What that refers to is how much does X character? How much does whatever character contribute to my enjoyment of the story? My being the keyword is obviously personal. It's obviously tier list. It's obviously subjective. It's just a matter of fact that my subjective opinion is the best subjective opinion. You know what I mean? No. But yeah. So I'll feel free to share your own tier list in the description or talk about how wrong I am. I'm totally down for that. As long as you're not mean about it, don't be mean or be mean. Do whatever you want. But yeah, okay. Let's focus up. So the metrics for best character are basically how much like it can be something like, oh, your personality was really enjoyable, it was really fun, and so that obviously makes me enjoy the story more. Or something like, oh, you explored a really crazy theme that I found really like engaging in its own way, or you had some crazy emotional beats or moments that like really hit me, that kind of thing, So it's kind of it hits a lot of different categories, which kind of makes it a little bit tough. But overall, what did X character bring to the story? And then we're also going to do one, maybe even two more tier lists, but I'm not going to say what those are yet. If you scroll in the description, you'll be able to see, because I'll have it already written out, but I'm going to keep it on the down low for now. So yeah, best character, Pog, let's say like great pick, not Greta. Great pick character, pretty solid, meh, and then who are you? And then also, what we're going to do for this tier list is I have the music. I have the OST for Oshi Noko queued up. I'm going to get that playing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have... You're not going to hear it yourself because I'm not trying to get copyrighted, but if you want to like queue up the music at the same time, I'm going to have like right up here-ish in the top... Well, like, where is it? Bing, 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 ding, ding, ding. Over in that direction, I'm going to have the little tab that shows what song I'm on. So if you want to, listen along, you feel free to. But it's just fun to listen to the OST, especially because this is the OST, not necessarily like the soundtrack for all their songs. So like some of the background ambience is in there, So we're starting with number 1, My Idol is Pregnant, Oshi Noko OST. Let me hit the boom. And there it goes. Ooh, I'm already in the Oshi Noko spirit. Okay. But yeah, so, I mean, nothing else to talk about. I say we kind of go at it. It's crazy. We're already Ai's at the top of the list. That's like the craziest thing I've ever seen. Um, the thing about Ai's character is that like she's so unique as a character and like how she was used in the story. Uh, Especially like I mean just even compared to characters within Oshinoko, but also compared to characters like in media as a whole, where she's like she was almost like martyred, like thematically martyred, where she's introduced and is such a big part of the story, and then is immediately taken out, and then her void that she leaves behind is like a huge fuel for the story going forward, right? I mean, obviously, like that's kind of the entire plot with Aqua and everything. Uh, and so in that way, it's crazy because as much as I'm judging, like we can judge like her character and what she did when she was on screen, we can also judge like the holes she left behind by being removed. And I would include that element 100,000,000% in her evaluation. Look, she's either one of these two. Like, it's gonna get really hard. I mean, I see, like, the A's are cracked, bro. Akane, Aqua, they're, like, all top tier. So, like, I don't know how, like, I'm already stuck between trying to rank some of these against each other. But just for like, what really, I might be my favorite, in terms of value. In terms of, like straight value that you brought to the story, I might be the best one. It's crazy that we're already starting with that statement. Reason being though that, I mean, Oshinoko episode 1 killed me, right? Like that was one of the that was one of the most powerful like episodes I think I've seen of anime period. And I don't say that lightly, I've had time to like think about it. But man, the way like the medium in which I experienced it with this whole reaction nonsense really like did something to me, and I think that hopefully I think that came through, because I even like, and I think I've said this before, but I debated even releasing that episode, because I was so torn up about it, and like I rewatched the entire thing before I uploaded it, and I mean I feel like I have I to thank for that, for that experience, because it was her as an idol, and this background music, bro. It was like her as an idol and what it meant to her, which then so easily was something that I related to, and I had like it was like I had never expected for those things that I felt before to be seen in media like that. Like just the whole lying aspect, because man, if I ain't a liar too, and if we aren't all liars in like a lot of different ways, but most specifically with like that desperation, that plea to be loved, and like putting that as an audience and like making yourself into some sort of performance, like those things that she represents, like that really cut to my core. Yeah, and I would say that's, and this is a segue into the next character, Akane. I don't know how we're gonna do this. I'll just leave. This isn't where I'm at yet. Let me just yap about Akane. I think the other moments in the story that could hit that same level that like the eye in episode 1. The crazy thing, it wasn't even her dying that much. Like that was emotionally impactful, yes, but the themes she brought, that's what killed me more than anything. Cause that like it was crazy, and I talked about it, but it was like I unimmersed in a weird way, and then re-immersed in like a complete, like I unimmersed from like the story being told of like the characters living their lives, and I immersed like a million into their themes and like the meta messages of the show, and that's what got me. So in that way, I freaking popped off. Akane though, in terms of like the way that I feel like I was able to like obviously Akane's arc went hard, bro. That was some of those intense emotions that I've felt. Like, no joke, I think dude, this show is cracked. The more I think about it, like the more I remember like how good this show was. Dang, when's season 2 coming? That's gotta be a must watch as it comes out. But yeah, like Akane's moments like hit on such a completely different way from where like I had all that thematic stuff that like really resonated with me, but then Akane, obviously it was watching somebody, I mean, like doom spiral, like truly doom spiral, and but also still in a way that's like thematically resonant with the rest of the show, being that it was like she's an like an actress on TV and like that reality TV dating show thing, and like her doom scrolling on people hating on her. It's like, man, it's like we're just watching bad endings of like creators, you know, in the different ways that creation can be. And so for Akane, like that really pulled me in thematically, and then it hit me with the scene of Aqua saving her, like when she slipped off that edge. What that I mean. I mean, looking back on the moment, that might be the biggest emotional shock I've felt in like all the videos that I've made, you know. And in like it's definitely top like 5, maybe even top 3 for like all anime I've ever consumed, you know. It's up there. It's hard to rank between shows because, you know, but like man, like the physical sensation, like I think that's the only time in my life that I could actually point to and say my heart literally skipped a beat. I like you hear that thing all the time of like, oh, he was so beautiful and hot. My heart skipped a beat. Like, yeah, I've heard that. Like, it's okay, dude. But no, like literally when she slipped, it was like, you know, like dang. And so just in terms of like raw emotional damage, Akane like hit so hard, you know? It's just so hard to rank because that hit me on like an emotional level so hard, and then I hit me on like a mental level. Almost, it's almost like I could make a distinguishment there. Where as much as where it's like a mental thing where like I caused me like visceral uncomfort in like my actions and how I choose to spend my time and like what am I even doing, you know? Like that caused like I caused like existential self-reflection, and Akane caused like visceral emotional harm. So like how do I rank their contributions to the story? Were they both absolutely schmacked, bro? I mean, I think I could put them both in best character. I kind of want to give it to I because I truly was a monolith. Like her thing of being like a monument, like infallible, like made of stone, you know, like the way she's described by everyone continuously. I mean, and I almost wonder if this was something that the show did to me, but for a minute there, like around the time I was watching the show and then up to recently, like one of the things, like one of my like mantras or whatever has been like making myself a monument, you know? And that sounds cringe or whatever, like I get it, but like I'm being real, okay? Can I be real with you for a minute? But yeah, the whole like, oh my goodness, spooky ambiance is playing. I think this is when Aqua was getting chased in the woods, I think, right now. It's literally called Chase in the Woods. Okay, dude. But yeah, the whole, like, monument thing, that was, like, a really interesting thought to me, and then it's something that kind of repeated in my head a lot. Yeah, like, do I want to go on that tangent? I'll make it quick. I changed my Discord status a lot, just for fun. I, like, shuffle a lot of things out. And one of my things there for a minute was building a monument and had a little emoji of a crane. That's literally because of bro. Like, dude, I had the influence on my Discord status, bro. That's crazy. Well, the butterfly effect. Yeah, yeah. Okay, next up, Aqua, another absolute banger character. I think Aqua's best of great pick? I want to say best of great pick, because, I mean, the absolute hype, like I think he might be third. He might be third. Oh no, Kana's in this picture. Kana's hard. I feel like Akane, Kana are like the biggest of the like the biggest contenders, and then Aqua maybe right below. That's kind of where I'm feeling. So he'd be fourth best, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think I can have him beat Akane because of the raw emotions that Akane brought in. I really like Aqua as a protagonist. I find Aqua to be a fascinating individual. And one of the things I've been thinking about a lot with like media is like active versus passive protagonists. And Aqua's really active, and I really love what that says about his character. Like he's constantly making moves, which then reflect on what he's thinking, what he cares about, which really hits. So he's like, I think he's an extremely powerful, or like an extremely competent, not even competent, an extremely like well done protagonist. Like I really value him there. It's hard to compare him to someone like Akane or I that's had like a really completed character arc, you know? Like, and because like Aqua's, I don't know, Aqua hasn't had a moment of major crazy resolution. Like, the coolest Aqua moment, and this is really cool. Like, not to say this is not cool, but the coolest Aqua moment for me, was like him after I died in the car, and it like changed the stylization and it zoomed in on him, like, getting ready to kill. That's like some of the craziest energy I've ever felt. And it was like, oh, Aqua, I am ride or die to the ends of Earth with you. And for, and Aqua, for me, we had a little bit of a tumultuous relationship for a minute there with, his activity, like putting on the Piaon suit or whatever. That was like Aqua, you mischievous little devil. And that got me feeling all kinds of ways, But yeah, I mean, that, like, he has so many, yeah, he's had powerful character moments, sure, like the one I just mentioned. But in terms of, like, profound character, like, resolution, of which Akane had, like, a completed arc, and then I, of course, like, had her completed arc. He hasn't gotten that opportunity yet. So in that way, like, I think he could jump up to, like, best character tier, perhaps even top dog. I think he has it in him for sure. It's just, since we haven't had that payoff yet, I don't want to put him there. He's still got it in the chamber. Like, this is his story. We're gonna see where it goes. It's not even just his, right? Like, this is a story that has a really solid net of side characters, which I love about it. But yeah, so Aqua's basically a dog, and he's my boy, and he's a great protagonist, and I'm here for him. Now we get into other characters like Frill. Frill has a cool design. Guys, anyone else remember what Frill did in the story? I forgot. Like, yeah, there's like a handful of the characters like this where it's like, some of them it's like, I remember you, and you like have some minor interactions or like some minor additions. But how do you even dare compare to someone like Ayakane Aqua, Like, how do you even? So like, Frill is either in here. Like, I'll give this maybe like a alright instead. I think Frill's alright. I don't have any problems with Frill. I don't feel like Frill has been underutilized. I feel like she's had some... Ooh, excuse me. She's had some, like, she had a little bit of characterization, if I'm remembering correctly, about, like her archetype of being, like, gossipy or whatever. And in terms of, like, fleshing out the famous people, or, like, the idols, the actresses, school that Ruby and Aqua are a part of, in terms of doing that, I think she was pretty successful and unique, so I'll give her an alright, but I've kind of run out of things to say on her, Goro, so we do have Aqua, and obviously he's connected to Aqua, right? The interesting thing is, it's hard to separate them, but it also is kind of fun to try to. I almost want to say, like what makes Aqua engaging, and how much of it has to do with his past life, in the same way of what makes Ruby engaging, how much does that have to do with her past life? Bro, that first episode went so hard. That's, like, one of my favorite things I've seen, bro. That is like a movie, bro. That was fire. I kind of want to rewatch it just for fun. You know what I'm saying? Holy. But yeah, in terms of how much Goro kind of added, I feel like Goro was aight. But really what's made Aqua the absolute, like, so engaging to me is his response to I, right? And his... interminglings with idol culture, his interminglings with fame, and his drive, and all these things. And a lot of those things Goro, didn't have as much. And that's not bad, right? Yeah, I think Ruby and Serena, like, I think... It's funny. I feel like in the Aqua-Goro relationship, Aqua does a lot of the carrying, whereas in the Ruby-Serena relationship, Serena does a lot of the carrying. And that's not to bash Ruby at all. Right? Like, Ruby is Serena, but in terms of, like, where a lot of the investment comes from, past life or kind of current life, Aqua definitely is current life. Ruby, I think most of my investment has come from her past life and what that means. Yeah. So I think that's a kind of fun distinguishing we can play with. But yeah, I mean, yeah. And also for the other tier lists, I feel like having them separated is fun. Ichigo. I mean, you aight. I don't got much to say on you, man. I mean, you are like a good example of, like, kind of what do I even call, like, manager type person. I appreciate you for that. Ichigo, you don't really stand out of the memory though. Like, I ain't got much to say. Better or worse than Frill? I'll say Frill gets the win. I'll say Goro gets the win. I think that's perfect as is. You see who's up? You see who's up next? Oh, you see up who's... It's Kana. It's Kana. Right when they play this banger track, too. My Kana love it. Kana is my darling. I feel like Kana, in terms of personality, I really got to like Kana. Like, I felt very attached to Kana. Which is... Oh, this song, bro. Y'all that aren't bumping this right now are like, what's this guy going on about? Just go listen to Doom. Number 8, Doom. Go listen to Doom. Holy crap. Okay, Kana. Who is that? No, okay. I think Kana's part of the big 3 for me. Kana versus Aqua is actually crazy. Man, I don't know. Kana versus Akane. Kana versus anyone. Oh, the music! Okay, I'm sorry. The thing with Kana, okay, personality, love it. Interactions in the story, love it. Her like more emotional, like her kind of more emotional character arc. Trying to compare that to Akane. Akane's was just so much more intense that it's like hard to like advocate for Kana beating that out, you know? Because Kana does have like some really, you know, strong and powerful messages of like self-worth, you know, her being pushed to, you know, this fame, but it's like the people abandoning her and the weight of the other people, and she doesn't want to like ruin this like, I'm just thinking to the finale, right, where it's like her and Aqua, or her and Ruby, where it's like, I don't want to ruin, like, I want Ruby's experience to be great, you know, and like she feels so weighed down by all that. Like, that's some really powerful character, and like I like that character motivation a lot. And then, you know, the way that's resolved with Ruby spitting the most gay, you know, banger line I've ever heard of like, what do you mean? We're just here to party, or what? I don't remember the line exactly, but the sentiment I'm so here for, bro. Of just like, that's part of the process. Like, that's what we're here to do. Like, F it, we ball. Let's get out there and like have fun, you know? Like, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to be an idol. So yeah, like, those are some really great character moments. I would say, like, the actual arc, like, I would say the Akane arc and the Ai arc, right? Like, were harder hitting for me. It almost felt like the show peaked a little bit in the middle, and then it didn't lose me at the end. It had a solid ending, but it did kind of feel like it peaked in the middle. Like, it peaked really hard at the beginning, because episode 1 was a banger. Then we were like, okay, and then had a huge peak with Akane, and then we had like a solid resolution. But I feel like it was living a little bit in the shadow of Akane and Ai the entire time. But in terms of her character, like, I like Kana the character, I think, more than I like Akane the character. But what Akane brought into the story emotionally, like the weight that her character brought in with her arc, that hit harder for me than what Kana brought in. So it's an interesting fight to be having of like, which do I value more? It's weird because like I feel like there's a bigger gap. Like, there's a gap, right, where like Akane, what she brought in is like boom. But then how much I liked her character is like solid, you know? But then Kana is a lot more like this. Like, it's her gap's smaller, but it's more middling. So what am I looking for? Am I looking for consistency, or am I looking for like high intensity peaks? It's tough. It's a tough one. I might have to come back to it. I think Kana can beat Aqua. Can Kana even beat Aqua? Let's check it. I think Kana just got such a focus, bro. Kana got so much screen time. Like, she was, like, every time Aqua was, like, the main character of an episode, she was doing B-roll. She was the captain of the B story with, like, Aqua, or with Ruby or whatever, right? Aqua's off doing something. We're getting random cut-ins to Kana talking to Ruby, right? And then she was, like, she was the main character for the last few episodes, right? I think I'm going to give it to Akane. I think I'll have Kana up there, but I'm going to give it to Akane in terms of, like, value to the story, because I feel like I'm still awaiting some payoff for Kana and Aqua's relationship. And that's what they are intending. That's not a bad thing. But in the same way that Aqua, I feel like he has a lot that's ready to be, like, thrown at us, that like so like in but we haven't seen that resolution yet. In the same way that I kind of he's lower for that, I think I'm gonna have Akane beat Kana. Um because just like Aqua and Akana's relationship is really kind of dicey and interesting. And so I want some more fruits to kind of come out of that situation. I want some more drama to come out of that situation. And so in that way, I think the unresolved nature I'll give it to Akane. Really solid character though, bro. Their side characters and like main characters, their characterization in this show is like one of the big points. Or like, yeah, I really liked the characters. Some of the characters, you know. Then we have someone like Kengo, who is like okay, Kengo. I don't remember it. I don't remember you, Kengo. I don't remember you that well. It's funny. I think when we had the dating arc kind of start, like the dating show arc, when all the boys got introduced, I think I literally said like, I'm not writing y'all's names down, and I'm kind of okay with that. Like that's kind of where it ended up. Where like, I'll give Kengo the win. You know what? I'll give Kengo bottom of all right tier. For kind of the sole reason that when Aqua was putting together the like short film kind of thing for Akane, and then we had like the entire dating show group like helped out in the production of that. That was like a really sweet bonding moment. So I'll let Kengo into all right tier because I'm pretty sure he's part of the group. But I'm not even 100% guaranteed that he was there for that because I don't remember him that well. So maybe he's getting a free ride, but we take those. Lala? Who is you? I don't remember Lala. Are you the girl that... She might be the girl that Aqua rolled and smoked. Or like that Aqua talked to in episode 2. And like used... Or like was interviewing for the idol culture and he was like pretending to be like the guy. You remember what I'm talking about? Was that Lala? I don't remember. If that was Lala, then Lala, you were more so used just to make Aqua look cool as opposed to being a character, so GG. Mana, whatever. You, I believe, was the idol that wanted to watch and did watch the Akane... No, the Kana Ruby Memcho show. I think that was you. You didn't really do much. You were kind of there. I think you were literally in the... I think Yomto is really funny. I'm pretty sure that I thought that Mana, I saw her in when I was editing episode 11, the finale. I think I saw Mana in the like crowd when the performance was going on, and I think I had the crack idea in my head of like, wait, is that related to Kana or some crazy idea, right? Because it was like I forgot that Mana was a character that like was announced, earlier in the episode. So I was like starting to do crack theories because she had like the camera like had a focus on her. But no, she was just kind of there. So, hey, I mean you were a fun idol girl. So hopefully you do something. You alright? Masaya, what's up? You're the guy that Aqua talked to. I mean, I think you can go right. I'll let you go right above Frill, I think. Because having he's just like an adult, he's an adult Hollywood professional male kind of dude, you know? And he's not even like a villain, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He needs to exist in this story and because of what the story's about, right? Where we're talking about all these productions, creativity, or like creations, blah blah blah, and so he's like the business person of it, he like kind of represents that a little bit, if I'm remembering him correctly. So in that case, I can appreciate his existence. Yeah, Melt beats Kengo because I actually remember you a bit better, and you were kind of snarky and annoying, but you came through. I'll let you beat Frill. I think that's where you stop, my good Melt boy. Hopefully, you become more of a dog down the line. Okay, Memcho. I think Memcho loses to Aqua pretty easily, but definitely deserves to be in great pick tier. She's probably like bottom of great pick. Reason being, she has like some cute, like she has some like cute messages of like, You know, like her age getting in the way of her dreams, but then we were able to push past that, and it's like, well, let's still live our dreams, and that's really sweet, and that's a cute message. Um, but that's I feel like that's kind of the biggest takeaway I got from her character. In terms of personality, she was fine, didn't have any problem with her, didn't have any huge draws towards her personally. Her design's a little odd to me, I won't lie, but I'm here for it. Speak your truth, Oshinoko. Don't let me get in the way of that. They got some of the craziest designs in this show. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. Look at Minami next to the thing. She's literally just straight pink. But yeah, so I can appreciate Memcho in that way, and I think she's a fun. Her like bouncing off of Ruby, like their personalities bouncing off of each other was fun. I remember liking that specifically, especially with Kana as like low key babysitting. So yeah, but at the end of the day, Memcho is just Memchoing around. You know what I'm saying? Her being like a YouTube personality was funny, like that's a like watching her subscriber counter, like look at all, like that was one of my favorite things they did with the show was like the show like showing people's tweets and showing people's YouTube accounts and showing like all these kinds of like elements that like is so normal in like modern culture, like social media culture. So like for that to be an actual proponent of the show, like an actual part of the show, proponent, that's the wrong word, for that to be an actual like part of the show so much. I really liked it. And Memcho was like a big part of that. So those are kind of the draws for Memcho. Loses to Aqua though, definitely deserves to be a great pick. Minami, you beat Frill, you beat Mel. You know what? I think you can be right there. I just like her design. It's a very simple surface level reason that I appreciate her existence. I like her design. I think she's cute, and I remember Ruby talking to her. Was she kind of ditzy? Am I remembering right? Bro, Ordinary Days is playing. Hey, quiet. Ordinary Days is playing. I need you to hush up. But yeah, I'm kind of done with Minami. On to the next, Miyako. Why is she having a gun? What is she holding? Is this like from a volume cover where she's packing heat, bro? She's ready to brah, brah, brah. Bro, her and Aqua are about to like destroy someone together. Okay. Miyako. I got some questionable. I need to talk to Miyako. Miyako, you're letting Aqua be this Giga Chad deceiver all the time. Like, I feel like Miyako's enabling Aqua to do his thing in the negative ways he does, So that's kind of concerning. Yeah, like specifically with the Payon mask thing, like she signed off on that, did she not? So that's kind of crazy to me. In terms of like her character development from episode 1, her absolutely sucking, into, bro, the strongest, let me jump ahead to Ruby. The strongest, one of the strongest Ruby moments for me was after Ai dies, when she goes to Miyako for comfort. Where it's like, she like walks over to Miyako and then like they hug. That to me was like one of the most sweet things I've ever seen. Where it's like, that just killed me, And it's like Miyako really stood up and took responsibility. She took the motherhood responsibility that I left behind, no fault to I. And for that, I can like really appreciate her, and that's like some fun character development from where she was. I'll put her above Memcho for that reason, of how much I appreciated that. Though, I would almost want her to be a bit more, like, I would almost want to see her even more in the story. She's kind of just in the background and then pipes in every once in a while. So I would like to see her more. And kind of maybe get some more insight into like her enabling or like her attitude for Aqua and his deceiving lie maxing or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Miyako. She's also a attractive adult woman, so that's a plus. Well, we have another adult woman, but less on the attractive front. Taishi's mother. Get out of my show, bro. I don't need you, okay? I get it. You're a gag character. You showed up once. I don't need it. Who need it? Don't need it. Who need it? Don't need it. On to the next. Nobuyuki. I think you fall right below Frill. You're part of the boys squad with the dating thing. None of them were like super engaging. Melt was the most engaging because I actually remember him. Whereas the other two I remembered less. So Frill definitely destroys both of these two, and then Melt, I think, can beat out Frill. So, not much to say on the guy. I don't remember much about him. Pyeon. You know, for a guy that I thought was introduced as a complete comedy gag, he's actually turned out to be a real character. And I have to appreciate that somewhat. The music for the show is so nostalgic. That's crazy. What a nice sensation. What a nice sensation. Okay, calm yourself. Pyeon, yeah, like, he's kind of based. He's kind of cracked. Like, him talking to Aqua over the phone when Aqua pretends to be him. It was like, dang, Pyeon, you spit bars. Just being kind of a Giga Chad celebrity chicken man. Los pollos hermanos. My name is Gustavo Frame. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the guy. I think he can make it to the bottom of Great Pick right below Memcho for me. I think I can accept that. He's grown on me. Once the show treated him not as a gag, not as a comedy thing, but as he's spitting real advice to Aqua. I mean, it's almost a message of like these comedy gag channels that you'll see on YouTube or wherever, right? That like completely make fools of themselves. Like, guess what? They're real people and they got real thoughts, and sometimes they can spit bars. You know, like they have an understanding of the industry. Like, you don't be a famous gag online by accident and by being silly. No, like a lot of the times it's something that's very intentional and very thought out. And Pyeon is that. So that's really cool, and I appreciate that. So I think he deserves to be in Great Pick. I'll put him there. Raida. I remember, I only know you because I asked who is Raida. I don't remember this guy, and somebody told me. I don't have any recollection of you. So I'm putting you in who the fuck are you? Even if I do technically know who you are, but I don't remember you from this show. So I'm having to do what I have to do. Okay, who's next? Who is that I see? My Ruby. Okay. Ryosuke is next. Ruby. Give her more screen time. I love her. She's so sweet. She's so caring. She has such a dream I can get behind. She's such a good, like, parallel to Aqua and in the parts of I that they embody. So give her more screen time. Give her more dialogue. Give her more movement. You know, I feel like she's been underutilized. So, you know, I mean, she's better than Pyeon. She's better than I think she just falls right below Aqua. Where she's like, she's a great, like, I think she could be a really great character. She's just underutilized. But, like, her dream is so sweet. She seems so, like they're gonna do amazing things with her in the future. I believe, you know. But I'm left wanting every time she's on screen. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Even the Idol show, the first Idol show, which with the Bikomachi, the new Bikomachi, you know, Akana's the main character of that. So, and that's not to say Ruby and Memcho don't matter, because they do matter, and it is pretty decently, like, attention-wise split between them, right? But, like, Kana's definitely the main character of that arc. So, it feels like Ruby even got snubbed a little bit in her own arc, or what could have been her own arc. So, yeah, I don't know. That puts me in a weird spot with her. Where I like her on a surface level. I think she's very sweet, and she's very, like, there's, like, an interesting naivete of, like, she's like a bright-eyed girl walking into this place that bright-eyed girls get chewed up and spat out a lot of the time, right? Look at Kana. That's a large part, like, you know, she wasn't necessarily the bright-eyed part, but, you know, she's definitely become a lot more cynical from the system. Look at Akane, like, that's just the show. It goes into that. So, I feel like they could do some really amazing things with her. I'm just kind of waiting for the shoe to drop. Ryosuke, well, you shanked I. That wasn't very cool of you. I think the thing you add to the story is you are a representation of unhealthy attachment to idols, unhealthy attachment to famous people, that can lead to like a parasocial. It's parasocial. He's the parasocial guy. And that was a very powerful part of the show, and like the crux of like a very large part of Ai's, you know, arc. So I want to give him some credit for that. Like maybe put him like right above Minami, just in terms of like you had a lot of influence on the story. I don't know if I want to put you above Goro. Though like what did Goro really do? Well, no, Goro had some bars. Maybe I should put him up a tier. Maybe I put him up a tier because Goro, I'm now remembering the more I think, like him meeting Ai and kind of recollecting or like thinking back to like what is my relationship with her now that like I'm her doctor, and Aqua thinking back on his past life and being like that being a large part of like what was my relationship to Ai? How do I feel about her? I mean that's very largely based on Goro. In his experience with her, and then obviously Goro's attachment to Sarina is a very, very sweet and heartfelt, and emotionally powerful. That is something I think I wasn't really taking into account. So I'll bump him, I think, above Paon. Sarina. Speaking of, I think I'm gonna do this. I almost want to even do this. Whoa! Where, or frickin', do I even do this? I think I do that. I think I like that. Sarina, I mean, immediately super serious and like heartfelt character, right? With the it was specifically cancer, right? I assume it was we're led to believe cancer because like chemo would make her bald, right? Would cause the hair loss there. So I'm assuming it's that. I don't remember if that's exactly what the medical condition was, but just the terminally ill girl who like longs to or like loves idols and longs to kind of like join them and memorizes all their moves. I mean that's just makes me want to cry. It makes me want to cry. And like the way that is such a big part of Ruby's character, you know, and like what makes Ruby engaging, where it's like she didn't get to do these things that she loved, and now Ruby is the one that gets to do that. Like she's now able to do that as Ruby, and that's like so beautiful, and like inspiring. But that the weight of that element of the plot, an element of the character, is coming from Sarina, right? It's coming from the past life, as opposed to anything that's like kind of happening as a result of the current life. So in that way, I would say that Sarina has done more for the Sarina Ruby character than Ruby has, if you kind of get what I mean, where the past life carried, as I said before. Whereas for Aqua, like the gap's I think a lot stronger. Yeah, and just man, the scene of like, what was it, like Ruby and she's like with Ai and they're in front of the mirror, and like I think it's like helping Ruby dance, and Ruby is so like she's scared of falling, and that's like making her unable to like do the idol performance because she keeps like bracing for a fall too early, like, you know, she's like immediately bracing for a fall, like that as like a reflection of like the almost like muscle memory of habits that like a terminally ill patient like Sarina would have, was like incredibly touching to me, right? That came out of nowhere and just killed me. And so to see that fear, you know, get kind of dealt with and that muscle memory get altered with Ai tutoring her there was like, that was one of the strongest emotional beats for me too in the show. Yeah. So and the weight of that moment came from Sarina, you know. Now we have 4 left. I think those are we got most of the big hitters out on the field. Taishi, based. I just like this guy, but he kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. Where is he? Give me more of his content, man. Like Aqua interning under him and like, you know, almost using him as like a father figure of sorts. I like that. I thought that was cool. But it didn't really go anywhere. Like I would maybe put him at the top of alright. Just because like I don't want to compare him to Paon, who actually was like making some crazy moves and I think had a cool commentary. Oh wait, my music stopped. Continue. Vague anxiety. Okay, go. Thank you. That's why I got the tag up there so you can, because yeah, YouTube auto pause is a thing. That's why you know. I'm a bing bing. Oh wait, no, I know bing bing bing. Yeah. Ooh, the tracks, bro. They had great music in this show. Great background music. But yeah, I feel like he kind of disappeared a little bit, but I really liked his interactions with Aqua. I thought that was a fun dynamic. Like the mentor figure kind of thing. Though, because I feel like it kind of disappeared, I feel like he kind of maxed out there. Yoriko, she's the manga person. Randomly, really was great. Randomly was really great. In the same way that Paon is like an interesting character that kind of explores like those gag channel things, Yoriko being a character that's like the person that's getting their work adapted, you know? And like, what's it like to get your work adapted? Like, you have created this thing that you love and now it is out of your hands and other people are like, for better or for worse, altering it, using it, performing it, whatnot. And so for her to have that moment where like she cries when she's watching the finale with Aqua, performing and Kana performing and like all that. Oh wait, was Melt the guy that was the actor in that episode? I might even getting my boys mixed up. That's the crazy thing about the boys. But no, yeah, back to Yoriko. Her response to that was really touching to me as like a little. It was almost a little bit of a drive-by where like they were quick about it. They were but not in a bad way. They were short and sweet. Where just to introduce, it was kind of just like asking the question of like, what could this look like? And then we're given an example that was really touching and like fulfilling with Yoriko seeing a hint of like that breath of life that she put into this work. She sees it, breathed into by someone else, by Aqua's performance, and that to be such a touching moment to her. I mean, wow. Like because I've thought about, it's a little crazy, but like I've done some, creative endeavors in my past, whatever. I'm not going to get into it because this ain't about me. This is about Oshi no Ko. But I've played with the idea of like, man, well, it'd be so cool to see fan art of like a character I've made. Like I've thought about that and be like, dang, dude, that would be so cool. Or like, I've seen like this random like video of like some dude at a panel, like doing some panel, and he's like the author of some book, and then the main character of his book, like somebody comes up cosplaying the main character of his book, and he's never seen that before, and he's pogging, he's like, holy crap, like nobody's ever cosplayed someone from my book before, and like that, like seeing your creation come to life in someone else's hands and to show like it matters so much to people that like it can be reborn, is such a beautiful thing to me. And Yoriko was like the show's like mini foray into that, which I really appreciated. Yuki dating show, kind of a Giga woman if I remember right, where she was like, kind of playing her part and making her moves. I'd say you're pretty high up on the alright tier. I'll put you at the top of alright. I don't think I want to put you on the same tier as Pieon. He's kind of the gatekeeper because Pieon Pyongyang kind of goes into a deeper theme where Yuki I wasn't really feeling that, but I did appreciate Yuki's character. I thought she was a cool side character that like fleshed out kind of our world a little bit. And her interactions with Akane were really good. Like her going to Akane and slapping her and then hugging her, I found that to be really powerful. She was a big part of that because that was. I hope I'm not mixing characters, but that was Yuki and Akane was like where it was all boiling down from, where Yuki was like the protagonist. Let me look at mine. Yeah, I think so. And so in that way, like that like Yuki's role in Akane's story was powerful. So you know what? Like let's actually put Yuki up for that. I think I'll put her right below Goro, because Goro had the attachment to Serena, which was really sweet. And then also a little bit to tie into Aqua and his development. So Yuki kind of doing the same thing for Akane. Yeah, I like that. Nurse. Ain't got much to say about the nurse. I don't remember the nurse very well. Like the nurse that Goro was with. You spat some bars. Maybe I think you maybe were the person that introduced the idea of reincarnation and like foreshadowed it. But all right, boom. I think I like that. That's our best character list. Now, the next list, what's it going to be? The next list is going to do, like, bum-ba-dum. What's it going to be? What do I want to call it? I know the sentiment I'm going for. What do I want to call it? Best friends list! Yay! Yay! This list, the best friends list, really good. Is how much do I want to hang out with you, basically. Like, how cool are you? Like, how cool, like, my personality and your personality, like, let's hang out, chill out, have a ball, kind of divorcing the character from the deeper themes they are employing or, like, are a part of, and instead it's just, like, this is more like the personality, how much I would enjoy being around that personality list. Really good. Pretty cool. Meh. And then, who are you? Again? Yeah. Okay. How much would I want to be friends with I? Whoa, that's a hard one, actually. What? Quiet. I Can Dance is playing. I need you to be quiet. Okay, no, I. Dude, actually, this is impossible. Why did I decide to do this list? The thing with I is, like, I don't think I could befriend her, you know? Like, I don't think she would befriend me back. Like, she would be so, like, she is, like, she's a monument. You're not allowed in, you know? That's, like, kind of her point, and that's what makes her such a compelling and insane character. So, I mean, what would befriending her even look like? Because this isn't a waifu list, okay? This isn't a, like, I'm trying to get schmexy, because I'm not trying to do that with these characters, you know? Like, I'm not trying to rank that, right? You know, a lot of them are teenagers. And so it's not like that, because, like, you could try to, like, the reason I bring that up is you could try to, like, self-project and be like, no, she fell in love with the one guy in some form, leading to Aqua and Ruby being born, for better or for worse. But yeah, that's not the angle I'm going at. So in terms of, like, befriending her, she's just, I feel like I could I almost feel like I need to add a new tier for her. Of, like, she is such a unique circumstance where it's like, well, okay, let me think. I think the way, like, less of friend and more just interact with her a lot, you know? Because I don't think we even could necessarily hit the friend level. How much would I, like, want to interact with her person? I think I would be fascinated by her. I think it would be, I mean, she's dazzling. She's dazzling to everyone that looks at her. And I think what makes her so intriguing to me largely is the influence she has on other people, and, like, you know, that idol persona that she has sculpted so carefully and so with so much intensity. And so to interact with her, I think I would like to do, even if it's not quite a best friends thing, just because I would like to do that, because that is so fascinating to me. Yeah. She's really hard to rank. Now to someone a little easier, Akane. Akane's fun. She's probably really good. Probably better than I. Maybe I drop I a tier. No, I'll keep I in really good. Akane's sweet. She's nice. She's thoughtful. She's hardworking. And the poor girl gets really depressed, which makes me want to help her out and be like, I can be your support system a little bit. Like, you know, like, let's like, support system each other. And yeah, I think she's good and really good. I don't know. Let's throw more characters in so we can start to bounce off. Aqua. Oh boy, probably pretty cool. Aqua's so much of a menace. I wouldn't trust the guy, bro. He's like, he'd be cool. I don't know how I'd feel having a one-on-one conversation with him, because I don't think he would ever be real with me, you know? He way too much a lone wolf, and I'm not trying to like, I can fix him. I'm not trying to I can fix him, okay? I respect the people out there that are I can fixing Aqua. It ain't me. And as soon as he starts, like, doing some crazy lie stuff in, like, an interpersonal relationship, that to me is, like, pretty big red flags that would, like, kind of, I don't know, knock me away. I'll change it to pretty ite instead, so it's a bit more balanced. Yeah. Like, I love, as a character, I really love the guy. As an individual, I'd be pretty worried. You know, he's got a couple red flags that I'm a little worried about. But that's what makes him such an engaging character. Frill? She kind of mean. Isn't she kind of mean? Isn't she, like, pretty judgmental, if I remember right? And she looks like a snake. I feel like she would kill me. I think she would kill me. Like, she would kill me through being so much socially, like, in the social hierarchy. She would be so above me in the social hierarchy that just by her looking at me, I would be dead. I'd be, like, socially dead. Goro. Goro would be fun. He seems fun. He seems like a fun doctor, man. Hey, like, go get some drinks with him. Have a good time. I'll put him right above I, because I is more of is interesting in Mystique, where I think Goro, before Aqua went down, you know, the Sigma male, lie to the people you love route. Before all that, he seemed pretty chill. I'll hang out with him. Ichigo, I'm not trying to talk to you. Kana, my beloved! Kana's fun. I like Kana. Ryu, her personality's so fun. She'd just be so fun to banter with. She'd be so fun to banter with, just constantly. I don't know. I feel like it's self-explanatory, you know? she's so sweet, she keeps it in, which adds a little bit of spice, where, sometimes there's a little bit of parsing that needs to be done. I just love her. I think she's so fun. Kengo, you're probably aight. Lala, who are you again? Mana, you were nice. I don't really know you that well, so I don't want to put you... She's kind of like baseline, where like I have a very surface view of her, so she's good as like a surface level individual that seems pleasant. That's what she represents. That's what she is in this thing. So the people around her are like the benchmark, right? Or like she's the benchmark for the people around her in that way. Masaya, he's kind of got it. He seems like, hey, he spits some bars. He spits some advice. I don't want to be friend. You're probably pretty high. I'll put you there. Mel, you're kind of a dick. Aqua at least is really an interesting guy, and on one hand I can respect the Sigma male. I'm using that as a joke, by the way. Let me just be clear. But the lie set, I can respect that. Where like Melt more so it's just kind of annoying. Definitely above or below Frill. Below Kengo. Kengo, you can go up. Kengo, you're pleasant. I'll put you right above Mana. Yeah, Aqua just scares me, bro. Aqua would kill me, bro. Memcho is really pleasant. She seems... I think I'm not a huge fan of her, like, her... I don't want to just say I'm not a huge fan of her personality. That's not what I mean at all. Her, like, stylization. In the sense of, like, the whole, like 3 kind of type behavior. Kind of, like, meow, meow, like, freaking the horns. It's a bit, like, I'm not a huge fan of that, personally. That's not something that, like a thing that's, like, I don't even know what I'm saying, bro. I think I like a lot of the idol stuff in terms of like a performance thing. I think it's intriguing, though I don't personally like find like I've seen idol shows in real life at like conventions I've gone to. And they're cool, but they're not really my thing, right? And maybe that'll change one day, but like right now it's just like, hey, look at them go. But like I that's not something I invest very easily in. Like I have trouble investing in that. And Memcho, I know it's a bit different, but like as a YouTuber-esque personality, she seems to always to be kind of like have some of that like personality up in a way that I think would be grating to me. So I think I'll put her at the top of pretty high. I think she's a really sweet and nice person. I just think that she could become annoying to me. And I'm so sorry, Memcho. I might even be wrong about... I'll let you into really good. I'll let you into the bottom of really good, because it's not even that big of a risk, and you have enough positive qualities to outweigh. It's just some of those things aren't, like... I'm more cynical like Kana, That's more my route. Minami, you're sweet, you're ditzy, I like your design. Top of pretty high, pretty easy. Miyako, mommy, yeah, she's great. I like her. She's an adult woman. That's good. This is best friends list though. This is best friends. Put it back in your pants. Miyako. You just lose to Memcho, but you're cool and you have a good head on your shoulders. You'd be good to talk to. You're just a based woman, so I can appreciate that. Yeah. Taishi's mother. Okay. Nobuyuki. You're above Melt. Melt was kind of the worst. You're above Frill. Frill would kill me. You're above Aqua, because Aqua would grind set lie his way into killing me. I'm going to have you lose to Mana, because Mana seems sweeter. In fact, Kengo, you lose to Mana too. Is what it is. In fact, Masaya, you lose to them too. In fact, you drop 2 tiers. No, you stay here. Let's go there. Okay, got it. Paeon. Paeon's based when he has the chicken head off. When he's not doing his gimmicks, he is an ultra like built bodybuilder out relaxing in the beach, spitting bars to Aqua. He is one of the... Like, I feel like he'd be such a cool guy to hang out with. Like, off shift, when he's got the chicken hat off, he'd be the coolest guy in town. So yeah, I think... Like, getting drinks with him would be so fun. I, though, has the dazzle bonus. I think she's dazzling enough. Rida, not enough information. Ruby, you're sweet. I like you a lot. You're very nice. I think you get to be in the top tier. She is just so sweet and heartfelt and a little innocent and naive in a fun way, and is just a beacon of positivity and wears her heart on her sleeve. And I love her for that. And she's great. And I feel like she'd be so fun to be friends with. And she'd be such a great friend. Ruby Appreciation. Ruby Appreciation Month. Hey. Ryosuke? Yo! No. Okay, bottom. Bottom slash oh no. He's the oh no. He's the unknown. Yeah, we're not dealing with that guy. That guy's a problem. He shanked my beloved, okay? Not allowed. Problem. Red flag. Easy. Gone. Bro, I just like smacked my own mouth. That's your fault, Ryosuke. That's your fault. Serena, you're so sweet. I want to protect you with my whole heart. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to give Ruby the edge because I can't say that. I'm going to give Ruby the edge because we can actually go do things. Serena's like terminally ill. Like it just is what it is, you know what I mean? But like I know that sounds bad. That is bad. Is that bad? It just is what it is. The poor girl, like, you know, Ruby gets to live the dream. That's what makes it so beautiful. So, and that would be more fun. But I still love Serena, bro. I love Serena. Don't get it twisted. I love Serena. She's so a huge beacon of positivity. Like, look at her smile, you know? The character required to hold that and, like, be able to be happy and not let your circumstances define you, is exceptional. And she is that, you know? Largely thanks to I. Shout out I for that as well. Taishi, based man. I think I'll put you right. Let's put I up. Oh no, I have 5 girls in my top 5. Is that saying something? Yeah, actually, I think we're gonna do this. I think Taishi beats Akane for me because he'd just be like, let's get some drinks with the guy kind of thing. Akane is great, of course. I'm looking at I. I's just so hard to rank in this list. Like I versus Goro. Oh, that's tough. That's really tough. I think I'm gonna drop Goro below Payon. Reason being, we don't really. He's kind of just like full sending the idol thing. I don't know how much fun he'd actually be to hang out with. He's a little bit of a nerd. Love the guy. But in terms of, like, being best friends, I think he loses. I think Taishi got that Sigma mentor director attitude that I appreciate. I like that. So I feel like that I like. Beginning of the Revenge is playing. Ooh. So yeah. Yoriko, I don't know much about you, but you seem nice. You seem very sweet. I'll let Goro win. Yuki, you're kind of on a grind set. I appreciate that. Do it. Nurse, who are you two? Let me do a fact check real quick. Kana at the top, Ruby and this top 3 I like. I like how Goro and Aqua have a huge gap. I think that's funny. I think it's fair though. Taishi, I like that. Akane, I think that's good. I was so dazzling. I gotta give her the dazzle buff. Payon feels pretty high, but I'm looking at the rest of the people, and I think he deserves it because he was so based off with his chicken helmet off. And I mean, he even like was willing to collab with the up and coming idols. I mean, that's also Chad behavior. Memcho, solid. Miyako, solid. Goro, solid. Then we're starting to slip into like a little more. Yeah, we have like it's interesting. We have like these characters have like a substantial amount of time. Up until Yoriko Yuki, and then like Yoriko all the way to Masaya is like they have a substantially less amount of time, I feel like. And then Aqua is like a kind of exception because I feel like he's such a menace. In some ways that's really worrying and would make me like I feel like I feel like our friendship would start to, clash a little bit here and there potentially. Just because trust is important to me. I really care about trust. Loyalty. Well, he is loyal. But he also, I don't know if he would... he's loyal if he devotes. But he might be lying about devoting and be playing a little bit. Like, he's manipulative, man, and that's scary. Yeah, okay, I like that. Now, final list is going to be a really quick one. We got Prettiest Eyes list on... Or, like, Best Eyes. Let's do Best Eyes. Great eyes, because the show has insane eye design, so we have to do an eye-specific one. Eye-specific? Oh my goodness. Okay eyes. Bad eyes. Whose eyes? No. Awful eyes. Okay, bet. Okay, eye list time. Eye. She's just such a classic, bro. She's got like some of the best eyes in the entire show. Her name's Eye, got the best eyes. I've seen her eyes in my face dazzling like a million times, and it never gets old. Akane, when you turned on the eye eyes, that was one of the craziest things I had ever seen in my life. So, I think you get to be in best eyes. Aqua, you have beautiful eyes. I love your eyes. The half and then the shadow half to like hide part of himself, crazy. In fact, I'd say Aqua might even be the best eyes. I get the best eyes. Aqua is close to the best eyes, with the reason being him going into dark eye mode is sick. That is simply cool, and I love that. And it's also reflective of like some deeper elements of his like personality and like the shift and all that kind of, the atmosphere it commands when it happens is so fire. Frill, you got some beautiful eyes. I'll put you in great eyes. I think, yeah, maybe Akane goes into great eyes as well, because Akane's eyes are only good because they're literally copying Ai's eyes. And I don't know if copying Ai's eyes is the best way to get your own eyes to look like up to standard. You know what I'm saying? Like where it's like reliant on somebody else. So I think we can give you a great eyes. You know what? Really great eyes. Great eyes. Okay eyes. Bad eyes. I think there are more good eyes than bad eyes, so I want to even shift our tier list a little bit like that. Goro, you got okay eyes. I don't really remember them. In fact, you have glasses. Bad eyes. That bad eyesight. Ichigo, brown eyes with the shades. The shades look okay. Okay eyes. Kana. Dang, Kana got some crazy pools, though. I love the pools. I feel like I could swim around in them lakes. You know what I'm saying? In the eyes. I think those are some really great eyes. In fact, I might like her eyes more than Akane's eyes. No, Akane gets it, but I think this is good. Kana gets really great eyes. Akane gets in the tier of best eyes. Doesn't quite hit me like Aqua hits me, especially with his hair covering half of his face, which is like so perfect for his like fitting his character. Kana got them beautiful pools. I feel like for the non-sparkles, Kana has my favorite eyes. If you're not sparkling. Kengo, you got okay eyes. Gray. Yeah, worse than Ichigo. Lala, I like the black eyes a little more than the gray eyes. I think you get to be here. Mana, your eyes are closed. I don't remember your eyes. Your eyes are closed. I can't view your eyes, bro. Closed eyes. Come on, man. Bad eyes. Can't see them. Oh, no, it's doing the weird thing. Bad eyes. Can't see. Okay, it's freaking out. You know what? We'll just accept it. I can't see their eyes, man. Masaya, he got some like amber eyes. Those are kind of cool. I kind of like those. I feel like his eyes kind of hit different. Melt, you got some cool eyes. You got some okay eyes. Maybe let's hit good eyes. I think Melt has good eyes. I think he has good eyes. They kind of pierce a little bit, which I like. It's an interesting distinction with his hair. His hair, I don't know if I like his hair color, but I like his eye color. Yeah. Memcho? I think your bottom tier really great eyes. The blue is sweet. The blue is nice. Kana's pure red hits harder for me by like a good amount. Kana I might even put into best eyes. I really like Kana's eyes. We'll see though. Frill. I think you lose to Frill though, because Frill got that piercing eyes. Minami, you got some really great eyes. I think you beat Memcho. Pink, I like that color. You only lose to Kana because Kana's eyes are pools you can swim around in, where your eyes are literally just ditzy pink bubblegum. And I love ditzy pink bubblegum, but Kana's eyes, I feel like that even reflects like her character, where it's like, she got some depth to her, you know what I mean? Miyako, dang, you kind of got some good eyes. I think you beat Memcho. I think Memcho falls. Blue, the harsh blue doesn't quite do it for me. Taishi's mother, bottom of okay eyes. Beats Kengo. Kengo is literally the most default gray I've ever seen. Nobuyuki, when I thought Kengo was bad. These almost look glazed over. Loses to Taishi's mother. That's crazy. Payon, I can't see your eyes, man. I'm not going to judge you based off the mask. I can't see them. Okay, can't see your eyes. Can't see eyes. Hey, fair enough. It is what it is. If we're doing chicken eyes, I don't even know where he would go. Probably here, but no. Can't see eyes. Raida? I think those are good eyes. I like the shades, just because the shades are kind of part of the eyes analysis here. So we're going to let it slide. Ruby! Beats Miyako, because them shining. Beats Frill? They're so sweet. Especially in this picture. I think Ruby's top of really great eyes. It doesn't have a character moment like Akane's do with the turning them on, because that just hits so unimaginably hard. And it doesn't have the thing with Aqua with the dark pits, and it doesn't have eyes, which are literally like, everyone's eyes feels like they're modeled after eyes. So you gotta give it to Eye for the best eyes. Ruby, her eye, I should say singular eye, just like Aqua in a sense, because only the one sparkles. That's sick, and I like how it parallels also off of Aqua. I think I'm going to put it there, though. Ryosuke, can't see your eyes, man. Serena? I kind of like it. I like this, like, extra, like, black here. It's like a second level. It's like a shading or something. Or, like, you know, like highlights and then, like, dark lights. I don't know what that means, but I like those. I think you can go right above Melt. I'll let you beat Memcho, too. Taishi? Your eyes kind of fit with your character. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of, he got some swag to him. So I'm going to put him bottom of good eyes. Yo, Rico, look, she's looking at me with them big ol' eyes. Lose this to Memcho, I think. Memcho at least is striking. Yoriko kind of blends a little bit. Yuki, ooh, you got some elegant looking eyes. I think those are some really great eyes. Kind of similar to the Miyako stylization, which I appreciate. Nurse, those are some solid eyes. I think beats Yoriko. Yeah. Okay! The eyes chart. I think that's good. I think we got it on the first pass. Miyako versus Yuki, I'm thinking about a little bit. I think I'll give it to Yuki, actually. I like the black on black a little more. For, like, the black eyes to the black hair. But loses to Frill, because Frill is so distinctive. And then, of course, I'm biased towards pink. Kana's, I think, reflects her character really well. I like swimming around in them. But the Sparkle Squad just takes the win. The Sparkle Squad just takes the win. In fact, I'll put Ruby up a tier, so it's even better of a balance. And then look at all the top four, all the Sparkle Squad. Get them linked together, bro. Yeah, I like that. And then Serena, Memcho, Nurse, Yoriko, Melt. I'm liking these. I'll put Taishi up a little bit. Maybe there. Yeah, I'll give it to Memcho. Raida. I think I'm gonna drop these two a little bit. They're a little default. These girls have pretty default eyes. Whereas like Raida and Melt have like more striking eyes, and Taishi. I'll even give Melt the win over Taishi. Memcho I almost want to drop lower, but I think she's fallen in enough, so we'll let her stay. And then the rest of these, I mean, they're just okay eyes. Taishi's mother actually kind of has nice eyes. I'll put her up a little bit. I think loses to Masaya. But yeah, boom! Oshinoko tier list. We've actually done it. Well, we're on Yearning. Number 30, Yearning. What a pleasant time. But yeah, I mean, that's our tier list for this show. Fantastic show. I really enjoyed it when we watched it, that little bit ago. Just reminiscing on this has got me, like, feeling it all over again, which I wasn't expecting when I was starting this recording. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I was kind of thinking, like, dang, I haven't seen this show in a while. Like, I hope, like, I was unsure if I could bring, like, I don't know if I didn't feel like the energy would come to me, for, like, loving the show. But the more I've thought about it, it's like, dang, this show is so, like, even in this retrospect, like, the more I think about it, the more I'm remembering it, the more it's like, oh, dang, wait, but don't forget about this moment between these characters, and it just keeps hitting and hitting and hitting, So, I mean, hey, it stood the test of time a little bit in that way, and I've really appreciated that. Bro, and the songs, dude, this music hits so hard. Listen to the OST, bro. Go on a nice nature walk with this OST playing, and then come back to your living quarters with your life changed. Whoa. What a wonderful show. Very excited for season 2 whenever that'll come out. Hopefully it's in the works. I don't quite remember what people are talking about, but hey, as soon as it happens, you let me know, and hopefully I will be there, be square, you already know. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. This episode of Oshinoko Tier List Andy. On to the next, which one day will be season 2. Otherwise, lots of other shows, you know how it goes. Got them all up. Couple other tier lists as well. We got a playlist for that if you specifically like that kind of content. But yeah, until then, until the next show, and until next tier list, until the next whatever, that's all I got for this one. On to the next. Of course, if you like the video, subscribe. If you're a new, blah, 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 comment below if you have anything to say, or join the Discord and talk to me. There are Oshi no co-fans there. Share your tier lists down below. Let me know if I'm right or wrong or whatever, and, let me know. I'm ready for it. But until then, until next episode of whatever that'll be, that's all I have for today. I'll be seeing you then. Peace.